And hello, and welcome everyone to the comic multiverse where the worlds of nerd meet. I am your very early host, Joel, coming to you tonight on a Sunday night, as it is. It's the 5th, or no, it's the 10th. Sorry,
You're
I
like a week behind.
Time has lost all meaning in quarantine, Matt. The Corona multiverse is strong in me. I have lost all meaning of time. Yeah, it's the 10th. What is it there? Of May. So time keeps on slipping into the future, but we're all happy we can be with you here tonight, and happy that you showed up, even though we started before 10, which normally, we have a strict 10 start time, but a lot of people showed up anyway, so we figured why not.
Yeah, I figured might as well start early. We're all ready, so yeah.
Yeah, how's your week been, Matt?
Pretty good. I've been getting a lot done. I actually had a day there where I slept for like 12 hours, which is very rare for me,
good.
which was very, very nice. I finished Breath of the Wild. Somehow I managed to find the time to finish that.
Nice.
Very, very fun game. Looking forward to the sequel. I watched that little trailer because I didn't see the trailer for the sequel they released, and watched it, and very intrigued to see what they'll do with that.
Yeah, that one's definitely on my list as well. I want to check that one out. I've been watching some movies. I finally caught the Shutter bug there, and I watched Blood Quantum this week. That was a lot of fun.
I have that on my list. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's good. It is a wonderful take on the traditional zombie movie formula, and I had no idea it was filmed in Canada. In fact, they never say that the movie takes place in Canada, but clearly they filmed it on the other side of the Montreal, Quebec, New York State bridge to save money. I'm like, oh, I know that bridge. That's where they bring the cigarettes. That's where cigarette runners go buy cheap American cigarettes and bring them back to Canada.
It's always cool when you see stuff like you know or you've been to in film.
Absolutely. Basically, the twist of it is it's a zombie outbreak movie on a native reserve, but guess what? The natives are actually immune to the disease that's killing all of the white people. And I'm like, oh, that's a fun twist.
Yeah, it looked really fun. I saw the trailer for it and looked quite fun.
Oh, yeah. Apparently the guy who made it, he is Canadian, actually, and he's part of the Métis tribe. He had done another horror movie before this, which was about the residential schools in Canada. I'm like, whoa, okay. That's some heavy shit to make a horror movie about. That looks awesome. And of course, because, he's a young filmmaker, a lot of the people in his first movie showed up in this movie, which had a bit more money, and they used a lot of the same locations, because that's what you do when you go from film school to making movies.
Yep.
And I'm just like, man, I think this dude's really fucking cool. Can someone send him Jason Aaron's Scalped? Because I think he could make it like tomorrow with the same group of people, more or less.
That'd be pretty cool, yeah.
Because remember when they were touring that one around and there was supposed to be a pilot, HBO or like whatever channel it ended up on was like, oh, there's just not enough Native American actors, to where I'm like, this guy made a whole movie where
everyone is one.
Where everyone was, and they're all pretty good actors and everything, and he is too. What do you mean you couldn't make that movie? you live. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Enjoyed that one. That's really been it for me. Trying to get some work done here and there as best I can, reading some more of those digital comics. They're all pretty good.
Yeah, they've been pretty good. The chat mentioned Justice League Apocalypse War. We want to leave that till the end, near the end, or do we want to talk about it now?
Sure, I made a video on it that actually did quite well, if people don't already know what I think. But yeah, if they want to hear you and me talk about it, yeah, we'll pencil that in for the end, why don't we?
Cool.
That's right, I knew I watched another movie this week, and that was it. Yeah, so kind of a Star Wars heavy news this week in terms of episode. I didn't know it would end up that way. It just kind of ended up that way.
Yeah. I'm happy with it.
As am I. We might be in quarantine. It feels like the world's on fire, but don't worry, because apparently there's going to be a lot of good Star Wars coming our way soon.
Yeah.
The first piece of news here is Taika Waititi apparently is going to be helming the next Star Wars movie, whatever that might be, whenever that might be. I know it seems like there's several different Star Wars projects all kind of in the oven at this moment, but he's got one of them.
Yeah, I have a feeling that this will be his next movie after Thor: Love and Thunder, because that's scheduled to begin shooting, I think, very soon, or at least like by the end of this year. Right. So he's got a little bit of time to sort of write it, because he's co-writing it as well.
Right, which is cool because he has a very unique voice, and I'd like to see what he brings to the project. I know we joked forever ago when they were announcing all these new Star Wars projects. It really does seem like Disney goes around to people they like and people who have made the money, and they open up the bag, and they're like, would you like a Star Wars? Here, pick a Star Wars. Have a Star Wars if you would like. Would you like to do a Star Wars?
It's even more obvious now because like we also got this news, we also got like a couple of the directors for The Mandalorian season 2, and there's like Peyton Reed, who directed the Ant-Man films, Robert Rodriguez is doing one, which is really cool.
Yes, I'm very excited for that because it's like, goddamn, you see what that man makes with no money when it comes to doing neo-westerns. Now let's actually give him some money and a cool universe to play around it and see what he does.
Yeah.
I like this idea, too, where it's like, well, what will a Taika Waititi Star Wars look like? Well, we kind of saw it because he directed an episode of The Mandalorian, and he was a droid in The Mandalorian, so, like, was that his audition? It's like, hey, man, you did pretty good, and you made us a ton of money with Ragnarok, and you're probably going to make us even more money with Love and Thunder. Would you like a Star Wars? And he's like, yes, I'll have a Star Wars. I'll use it to fund my next my next weird off-the-wall vampire werewolf Hitler movie that I make.
That's like another thing. He does like he's very good with like a lot of his other movies like Boy, Hunt for the Wilder People. All of those have been about like minorities and stuff like that. So it'd be cool if that could translate into Star Wars, and he does something about like he could do something about the Mandalorians or something, although I don't think he will be because we have a TV show about that. Which
a lot of stuff we're going to have to fill. Maybe he'll do something about the droids. That would be fun. Like, hey, you ever notice droids are second-class citizens in the Star Wars universe and no one gives a fuck?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I'd like that. Maybe something about the spice mines and the spice trade. That would be fun. There's a lot of things he could do.
Yeah.
Maybe something about old clones. No Country for Old Clones.
Well, that might be part of season 2 of Mandalorian.
Might also be that, as we'll definitely get into. But yeah, I'm super stoked for Taika Waititi to be on this, and I get the feeling too because he's shown the Disney higher-ups, look, I can put my own spin on stuff and my own personality in this, and it's gonna be good and people are gonna like it, and hopefully you're not gonna kick me off the project when it's almost done, a la Lord and Miller.
He's got that extra little bit behind him with like Thor Ragnarok and like the Mandalorian, so obviously they have some trust in him.
And even his comedy is like pitch black comedy too.
Oh yeah, it's like good comedy for the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, it's very dark and dour, and it's very like you gotta laugh or you're gonna cry.
Yeah.
Now, how many Flight of the Conchords friends do you think he's gonna get into his Star Wars movie when he does it?
Well, as long as Jermaine Clement is a robot or like some weirdo alien.
Like, that's just a fucking layup is what that is. And Jermaine Clement plays the droid or plays like a big gross hut you've never seen before. He also casts a bunch of big, burly Maori bouncers and everything to be like cool alien heavies in the movie, because why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? But yeah, I'm definitely down for this. I mean, Waititi's really kind of become like one of the hottest commodities in Hollywood right now, and so far, everything he's made has been really good.
Yeah, it is. It's a shame his Akira movie never got off the ground, because he was so close to making that as well.
Even stuff he's just tangentially connected to, like that What We Do in the Shadows series that he produces, because obviously he did the original movie. God damn, that show is good.
It is really damn good.
Like, everything about it is great. It is funny. Everyone gives 110%. The cameos they get for it are truly amazing. Did you see Mark Hamill is going to be in one of the upcoming episodes?
I did. It looks really cool.
Holy shit, I am so down for all of that.
Yeah. And again, it's like the show as well, like, it's exactly like the film. So you can like watch the film, then watch the TV show, and it's a continuation of it basically. And it kind of is, because his characters in there appear in the show.
Yep, yes they do. Man, are there any vampires in the Star Wars universe? Can you do a vampire movie in the Star Wars universe?
They had that comic series recently, Screaming Citadel, which was like weird alien vampires.
So you see, 3 Gungans have to live in a house together.
Hey, that'd be a good film. Sad. As someone said in chat, sad clown Jar Jar.
Oh my God, Taika Waititi with the continuation of Jar Jar. Jar Jar post all these other movies. What happened to him?
There you
That
go.
would be...
He would make that a good film. Make it relatable, funny, sad.
Man, if he made a relatable, heartwarming movie where he played Hitler, I guess he could also probably do the Jar Jar story. Look, I will do this Jar Jar movie, but only if I am allowed to play Jar Jar and infuse him with all the humanity that he deserves. Oh, Misa's so sad. Misa cast vote that bring fascism into power. Uh-oh. Oh, Misa friend becomes Space Hitler. Oh, no. Annie, why? There's a lot of stuff for Jar Jar to be sad about, isn't there?
There is. There really is.
Jar Jar have so much survivor's guilt. Why them all die but not me? Why Jar Jar live?
He always live.
Jar Jar life pain. Oh God, you do like the Old Man Logan thing where Jar Jar tries to kill himself several times, but because he's like a slapstick cartoon character, every time he tries to kill himself, it goes wrong and other people get hurt.
Yeah, other people die, or at least to some other large consequence.
Like, he tries to hang himself, but his alien feet are too long. Oh, no. Or his chair breaks too early. Oh, no. Tries to jump off a bridge. He lands on a speeder with a bunch of people in it, and it crashes, but he's fine. Why am Jar Jar cursed with life? Until that final moment where he gets into, I don't know, like a shootout at the cantina and saves a bunch of people and dies a hero. Jar Jar, as he's lowered into the acid, he lifts up his thumb, does a thumbs up like the Terminator before he dies. Misa always love you. The redemption of Jar Jar Binks coming next summer. God damn, that would be him just like at the height of his power. Like, I'm gonna redeem Jar Jar.
The funny thing is, like, if that was to happen, like, he would be the perfect person to sell the film, because it's like you tell like the average person's like, oh, they're making a Jar Jar Binks film, and they'll be like, what the fuck? I ain't seeing that. But then you say, oh, but it's done by the guy who made Thor Ragnarok and Jojo Rabbit. That gets him in the theater.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. As the chat says, quick cut to a sad Johnny Cash song. Yeah, there's a man going around taking names, and his name is Jar Jar. When the man comes around. Funny stuff. But you know what? That wasn't the only Star Wars news this week, Matt. Our cup kind of runneth over with Star Wars stuff.
It sure does.
So, Boba Fett's actor is slated for a return in The Mandalorian Season 2. Now, I say his actor because we don't actually know who he's playing yet. A lot of people have jumped to the conclusion that he must be playing Boba Fett, but as we kind of alluded to earlier, he could just as easily be playing any clone, because they're gonna have the same face.
Yeah, people are jumping to the conclusion that it's Boba because of that one part in in that Mandalorian episode with Fennec Shand where you hear that person walk towards her corpse and had the same sound effect that Boba had in Empire Strikes Back. That's the only connection that people have made that it could be Boba Fett, that this guy's boots sound the exact same.
Yeah. Any
I don't think it is. I don't think it is, because that's very weak.
Same here, and I got on this on Twitter, which I deeply regret, because whenever you talk about Star Wars on Twitter, it always becomes a giant fucking shit show, no matter what you do. But my general consensus was where it's like, look, I do not doubt that the writing team on The Mandalorian could not breathe fresh life into Boba Fett, much like they did Darth Maul in Clone Wars. I'm sure there's a lot of good material to mine out of that, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to see it. Because it's like Mandalorian was so good and so cool because it was new and there was a lot of new shit in there, and that's what made me like it so much. Must Star Wars always lean on stuff from the past? Why is this always the case?
Well, not only that it was new, that it was so separated from like all the other films, which were all like intrinsically tied to the Skywalker saga, whereas The Mandalorian is like its own thing and its own part of the universe. It actually, for once, made the universe feel like a really big, large place.
And again, I know what people are saying, where it's like, look, Dave Filoni was, there during the big George Lucas retcon of like, oh, maybe Jango Fett and Boba Fett were actually pretenders and they stole their armor and they weren't real Mandalorians. But isn't that interesting now that the Mandalorian society is a nomadic society and basically they take anyone, and if you can wear the armor, then you are a Mando, and it's this whole thing. They could probably do something with that, and heck, maybe it would be kind of interesting and kind of meta to have Boba Fett come back only to have the Mandalorian of this show pants him as a fake and a fraud and being like, you were never that good. How did you even get out of that Sarlacc?
I'd love for that to happen, especially since the Mandalorian has proven that he is so much better than Boba Fett, who, let's remember, he got defeated by a blind man.
Everything you love about Boba Fett is from the expanded universe that doesn't exist
Well, not
anymore.
even that. People just love him just because of the way he looks, the look, the armor. That's basically all they love.
Yeah, and again, it's cool armor, but don't you like what's the name of the guy, man? Din
Djarin.
Din Djarin. Don't you like Din Djarin because like he actually has shit going on?
Yeah, he's a relatable character.
Yeah, and Pablo Pascal is just so handsome as well. Don't you love him because of that too? Again, there's a lot of places they could go here. As people brought up too, Rex is probably still alive in this timeline, so it could very well be Rex showing up, and wouldn't that be kind of more interesting?
Well,
and
that's the thing. Yeah, this show takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and Rex is technically in Return of the Jedi. He's one of the troopers on Endor, so it's very possible he's still alive.
Yeah, which I think that would be very interesting. Again, there's places they could go here, and again, they're just saying that he might be here. They're not saying what role he would play, even how long it could be. For all we know, it could be a flashback where it's like young Din Djarin actually met Boba Fett at some point during like the height of his bounty hunting career. So again, there's places they could go with it that wouldn't end with them maybe having to rewrite and retcon history. Because again, that would be the biggest thing if it was Boba Fett, where it's like, okay, how did he escape the Sarlacc?
Well, there's already like in the new canon, in the old canon he escaped, but in the new canon it's been left like really ambiguous to the point where like someone else actually has his acid pocked armor and is using it to be a sheriff on Tatooine.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like, did he escape, or did the armor just like, because it's made of Beskar, like survive?
Are we gonna do a legacy thing where it's like, look, if you have the armor, your Boba Fett is the thing. It just goes from person to person. It's legacy.
That would actually be interesting.
Yeah.
Because Boba Fett himself isn't interesting. The clones are more interesting. They're the more interesting clone of Jango than Boba is.
Yeah, that the thing. He's not even the most interesting clone anymore. That would be kind of cool. And then you could have Din Djarin be like, no, you're not Boba Fett. I knew the real Boba Fett.
Yeah. Bring in Jodo Cast, the guy who actually did portray him.
Yeah, exactly. You're a friggin' imposter. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And again, there's like parallels you could draw where it's like, Boba Fett's father was killed by the Jedi and everything. And, Din, his parents were killed by droids. And, they're both kind of these leftovers of the Clone War and everything. And it affected them. And, to be the people they are. I'm not saying there's not places you could go. I'm just saying in my own weird roundabout fan way, I'm just like, don't dig up another character just because.
Yes, and especially when there's like rumors that Ahsoka and all that are going to be in the show as well. Just limit yourself. Maybe Tamil Morrison is playing Ahsoka.
Yeah, could be. You never know. He's a very talented actor. He could do it. He could do it 9 times. Also, too, again, it just reminds me, I'm like, man, this is why I liked Rebels as much as I did, because Rebels was basically all new stuff. And yes, they had Vader eventually, but, they would have to run into him at some point. And yes, they had Maul, but that was a holdover from Clone Wars and all this other stuff. It invented so much new shit. And yes, Thrawn, too, I know, but Thrawn was basically new to a whole generation who never read the fucking Zahn books.
Yeah.
That's my thing, and I hope if they use him sparingly. I don't want it to be like, oh, and now featuring Boba Fett, his new running buddy.
Oh, I have a feeling if they were to do him, he'd be I have a feeling that like people think he's going to be, you know, doing all this action and everything, and yeah, while Tamor Morrison is like a pretty fit guy, he's getting up there in age. I think he's like in his 60s or 70s. So I could see him as like kind of like the Grief Karga, like kind of like that mentor role.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Actually, I'd be cool with that. Be like, you know, I put up my guns a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
I lived that bounty hunting life, and you know what? It got me a lot of misery and a lot of scars.
Yeah, he's so embarrassed about being, you know, thwarted by a blind man.
Yeah, exactly. You know what my greatest accomplishment was? PR. I got beaten up by an old guy. I got jumped into a sarlacc. The legend of Boba Fett. That's my legend. That I had a really cool ass helmet. Hey, here's my question. What happened to Cad Bane and some of these other ones who are probably still running around from the Clone Wars era? He's an alien, so assumedly he ages differently than humans.
Why does no one ask Dave Filoni that? Everyone wants to know, like, what does the owl mean? Or where is Ahsoka now? But where is Cad Bane?
Yeah, where's Cad Bane? Could we possibly see Ventress? I know the book kind of had her leave in like a get me the fuck away from this Clone Wars thing, but I'd watch old lady Ventress.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'd be down with that. How come no one built another Dirge trooper? Dirge was cool as fuck.
Oh god, no, not Dirge.
Yeah, he was a goddamn Akira alien, and he like was a biker jouster, and he was cool as fuck. Why did he never show? Why didn't they make more of him? I know there was a story reel that actually we saw young Boba Fett kind of growing into Boba Fett, ultimately the man he would become, and they explained the whole dent in the helmet, that he got that in like a Wild West duel with Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Hey, again, Filoni was involved in that story. Make that a flashback, tweak it, and say young Din was watching that fight. That's fine. I'm cool with that. Just to give us that cool scene, but in live action. Be like, yo, you didn't see me, but I was there.
Yeah, I was just off to the side of the camera.
Just off to the side. If they had panned just a few meters, they could have seen me. Yeah. Also, I guess because it isn't a story reel, and even though it didn't officially get made, that bit is still canon.
I would say it isn't.
But then again, Filoni has said that stuff he writes is still canon in his mind until it's not.
Yeah, I guess so.
So there you go. And the fact that he still seems to be basically the major driving creative force behind a lot of these, I guess we can take that as still sort of being canon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that was good stuff. But, so yeah, Star Wars, it's going to be interesting. We got some good shit coming down the pipeline. I guess speaking of The Mandalorian, because we're on the subject, the second episode of that Disney Star Wars Gallery series came up. The first one was all about getting the directors. This new episode was all about legacy. And man, really, really good stuff. Really good behind-the-scenes stuff.
Really showing why these people are in charge of this.
Yeah, most definitely. They got a murderer's row of talent, and as you said, the talent pool's only going to get bigger next season.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm totally cool with all that. What was your favorite thing of those two episodes that they revealed? What blew your mind?
Well, nothing really that I didn't already know, but I did like that whole thing at the end of the second episode with Dave Filoni talking about like Qui-Gon Jinn and him being a father figure to Anakin, which I never really thought of. Like I did see him as like a father figure, but not as in the way Dave talked about it, which I'm like, I like listening to it, and he's talking about the duel of the fates and everything, and I'm like, holy shit, that's actually pretty cool. I wonder if George Lucas actually thought about that.
That's the thing. Yeah, like Filoni talks it up so big, and then you remember, wait a minute, Filoni worked under Lucas, like back when he still had the franchise. Like he worked with him at Skywalker Ranch. George probably told him that at some point.
Yeah, and it's like, well, you could have done a little bit more to bring it through in the film a little bit more, but yeah.
Like, yeah, why wasn't that in the movie? Like, that makes sense, and that's pretty cool. I know Freddie Prinze Jr. talks about that all the time in interviews, where it's like, look, I learned this from Filoni, and Filoni learned it from Lucas. I am the Padawan of the Padawan. So I know my shit, man. Freddie Prinze Jr. is cool. I like that guy.
Yeah.
Do you know he wrote for WWE for years?
Really? What, like storylines?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, back when he wasn't sure about acting anymore, and he said it was like this weird in-between in his life. If you listen to the New Day podcast, they talked to him in depth about it, because apparently they didn't bring him in to write originally. They brought him in to like teach acting to the wrestlers, where it's like, okay, teach them to emote, teach them to talking to the camera and everything. And oh man, he told a fucking hilarious story where one of the guys, the Miz, who was always a wrestler with like acting aspirations, and his basic takeaway was like, why should I listen to you, Freddie Prinze Jr.? And he's like, look, I might not be Laurence Olivier, but fucking Laurence Olivier ain't here right now. I am. And apparently he sat down and shut the fuck up and never said anything else after that.
And now he's making Marine 69 or whatever number they're up to.
Apparently they killed off his character in the Marine series.
Okay.
He had a big heroic death in the Marine. Which, hey, this actually all kind of comes together because apparently Sasha Banks is going to be in The Mandalorian season 2.
That's true. That is true, yeah.
I don't know what role she's going to play, but she has fun hair like an alien anyway, so it makes sense.
Hopefully a big, strong alien Din has to fight.
There you go. She's going to hit him with the double knees from the corner. And be like, man, she moves so well. It's a shame she keeps taking all these huge hits for a woman of her size. That's going to cut her career short. But not in a galaxy far, far away. All right, what else do we got going on here in the world of news right now? Ooh, so in the ever-evolving story of San Diego Comic-Con, on their official Twitter account this week, San Diego Comic-Con teased that they're going to be doing a full-on official digital convention this year. And the trailer they did was actually kind of cute, where they're like, hey, this year everyone gets a seat in Hall H. This year everyone gets a pass, and everyone gets to come to the show this year and not have to pay a ridiculous amount, because we're doing it online, everybody.
And I'm happy for that. I'll finally be able to go to San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, you and me both, man. It's going to be pretty good. We should set up a virtual table where people can buy our virtual shirts and, help us out.
We should probably try and set it up so we do like a day stream.
Yeah, or something like that.
Stream like some of the panels or something. I don't know how it'll work.
Exactly. We don't know what it's even going to look like right now. And also, usually the show right after San Diego Comic-Con is usually one of our biggest ones anyway, because by that time we have a whole list of shit we can actually talk about.
Yeah.
That's always fun. But yeah, everyone be sure to come to our virtual storefront and shake our virtual hands at the San Diego Comic-Con. We're guest of honor this year, and they can't tell us any different.
Yeah, we have the big main panel in Hall H.
Yeah, exactly. It was all us. It was hard to get it. I had to wrestle the head of Warner Brothers there for it, but I got it done. See, the trick is I fight dirty. I had pocket sand on me.
Yeah, and you're greased up.
Greased up Joel. Nothing can stop a greased up Joel. Especially now, you see, I've been bulking up for this role. That that quarantine 15 that I gained. It was all with purpose, so I could count out the head of Warner Brothers. Oh man. That's a sad truth right now. I'm wearing my big billowy tracksuit, right? Well, it used to be big and billowy after I lost all that weight. Now it actually fits perfectly again. And I'm like, fuck, so I gained back all the weight I lost is what you're telling me. I'm back to
not much you can do about it in these times.
No, the only thing I regret is that I went back to growing my beard the way I was growing it. I wish I had let it grow all the way out so I could have like the full, Wolfman Jack thing going. If I could do it differently, I would have grown a full beard is what I would have done just because. I've never grown a full one before. This is the most I've ever gotten in the general beard region.
I have, but I shaved it all off because it was getting annoying.
My problem is that I know too many people and I'm on too many shows with other people who do the full goatee thing. I'm like, well, it'll be weird if we both show up with the same facial hair. So I got to do something different. I got to do the thing where like I connect it to my sideburns and everything. But yeah, that's got to be my thing. I got to get it grown nice and long so I can put jewelry in it. The ultimate Dark Slayer. Yeah, I feel you, Joel. I gained some back after the weight loss. Yeah, I think we all did. I think we all cope with the quarantine.
It's the easiest thing to do because you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, it's the only thing you can do right now. All you can do is eat. And you're damn right, like, I'm complaining now, but I also bought stuff to make brown butter cookies later. And you bet your ass I'm going to be doing the binging with Babish recipe, and then I got 2 things of chocolate chips for it.
Oh, jeez.
If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. I tell you. Hey, that's one for the comment section, everybody. What quarantine feast have you made for yourself? I was quite proud of one I made the other week. I don't even think I put up the picture yet. It was I made tater tots. Mm-hmm. Then I got like a can of gravy that I heated up and put on there with lots of pepper the way I like it. Then I chopped up some of those frozen chicken breasts and like grated some smoked cheese that I got from the store, and that was powerful.
Nice.
Yeah. Chicken tater tot poutine. Powerful. Can't stop me. Ooh, someone in the chat said cinnamon rolls. That's a good one. Brownies, yeah. Brownies
we don't have cinnamon rolls here. We can't buy them.
Really?
Like if you want to make them, you got to make them from scratch. I'm like, I don't have time to fucking do that.
Ooh, you're missing out there. Ooh, caramel coconut cake Oreos. Nice. Jesus. Fried rice, fajitas. Man, I wish I could make some fajitas from scratch.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah, I do love a nice fajita. Man, I wish the Mexican restaurants would open up again. And they probably are opening, as I've said before. I'm just too much of a coward to go and eat at restaurants right now.
Yeah, better be safe than sorry.
It's true. I heard one person's story, and they had it so right. They're like, look, I've been ordering pizza because I couldn't get out to shop, but here's the thing. I would do the contactless delivery, and then I would put it in the oven for like 5 minutes more on high just to make sure everything is dead and no corona can live on the pizza. And I'm just like, man, why aren't we doing that for everything? Put it in for an extra 5 minutes. Nothing can survive on that when you turn your oven up to high.
No.
Oh, God, what have I been buying from the store? Oh, I got, like, potato skins the other day, like frozen potato skins with cheese and bacon. Oh, that's good. You put some sour cream on the side. That's good stuff.
Nice.
I had that for lunch and dinner, and I'm like, is it bad to have potato skins for 2 meals of the day? And then I'm like, fuck it, it's happening.
It's already too late because you've already eaten them all by the time you answer the question.
Exactly. I'm like, is this bad? Nah. Ooh, I do have some cubed ham, actually, Chad. I'm going to be making some crazy omelets in the next couple days because I got the ham, cut it, ate it, and then I'm like, what am I going to do with all this ham? I guess I'll get some cheese and eggs and make an omelet out of it. Like a really big one. Oh, my store, too. Why my store got this now is just fucking evil. They're little squares. I thought they were jalapeno poppers because they looked like fried on the outside, and I bought them. And I'm like, sure, let's get some spice in here. If it's spicy, maybe I can't eat that many. Oh, it wasn't filled with jalapeno poppers, Matt. You know what it was filled with?
What?
Macaroni and cheese.
Oh, jeez. Even worse.
Yeah, I know. And I had one, and I'm just like, oh, that's not too bad, actually. That kind of tastes like Kraft dinner, but someone fried it and put it in a triangle. Surely I won't be able to eat all of these that I made. Nom, 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 nom. I hate myself. Look what this quarantine has done to me. I am going to dark places I never thought possible. Oh. So yeah, how about that San Diego Comic-Con? We can all go this year.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I'm wondering, like, what vendors will be there, because you have to wonder, like, oh, will people, like, pull out because it's not like the glamorous, Hall H, everyone's lining up outside now. It's everyone can go.
Yeah, I wonder how the companies are going to handle it, because you figure, like, all year some of these places are like, no, we gotta have stuff ready to show for Comic-Con, is the thing. So you figure, are they still going to put it out? I guess they are, because it's not like they got cold feet and just like, I'll put it out early.
Yeah, it's going to be very strange.
Very much so. What are even the rumors of Comic-Con this year? Like, what were we expecting to see?
I never really even heard any. I hear that, like, the usual ones, which is like, oh, a Batman game will be announced, but that's like every week now you hear a rumor about that.
Like, obviously Disney wasn't showing up anymore, but it's like, even if they did,
I think they might have come this year. I know they skipped last year.
Right, because it's also like, well, isn't some shit totally on hold right now? Because Wonder Woman's probably going to get pushed back, and Black Widow definitely got pushed back.
Yeah, so, like, what are they... I guess, yeah, they'd probably show, like, a new Black Widow trailer or Wonder Woman trailer or something.
Or something. I mean, they had the Eternals walk out last time. Do we have anything ready for Eternals? Do we have anything ready for any of these?
Or the movie was meant to be coming out in November, so I have to imagine by July there'd be like a trailer. Has to
Right.
be.
I know there was talk that WandaVision had actually finished up filming, so surely they would have something to show for that, you would think.
Yeah, like either a trailer or clips or something. And I think they finished up all shooting except for VFX.
They finished Suicide Squad too, didn't they? So they'd probably be in the trailer cutting stage.
Yeah, James Gunn said he's editing from home.
Ah, that must be fun. I'd love to be in the room when he's doing that. Does he always edit the movies, or is this like something new he's doing?
I imagine he's involved in the edit is what he meant.
Right, yeah.
Which
when he
makes
says,
sense. He's the director. He'd be involved in it.
Yeah, when he says he's doing it from home, it's just like, hey, if you pay me again, I'll start editing the movie now. It's not like I'm doing anything else. No, they probably couldn't do that because the fucking editors union would be like, no, he can't do that. Remember how mad the storyboard union got mad at Robert Rodriguez when he was doing Sin City, and he's like, well, just use the comic panels. That's our storyboard.
You can't do that.
Oh yeah, the storyboard guys were up in fucking arms about that. Like, you can't put us out of a job like that. You can't just start using comic books. Even though in reality you're like, yeah, why don't they just use comic books for their storyboards?
It makes sense. It makes sense. It's framed for you. It's keyed out. It's blocked out for you.
Yeah, it literally already is. Yeah, but you can also see why guys are like, no, I went to art school. I broke into this industry, drawing storyboards and redrawing them. You can see why they'd be pulling out their fucking hair. You can't take a job from me like that just because you already have art. That's not how it's done. God damn it, you can't. We gotta make it board driven. Gotta be board driven. But yeah, be sure to keep your ears open for San Diego Comic-Con there. It sounds like we will be getting a show anyway, even though it'll be kind of a weird show.
Yeah, but it's cool. We all get to go.
Definitely.
Hopefully their service can sustain the load, because there's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a thing. Our last piece of news here actually involves comic books. Remember those, everyone, when they were new and came out regularly?
Yeah.
I mean, they got to be coming back
in the
right?
day.
In the long ago. In the time before time.
Yeah, when I used to wear an onion on my belt, which was the style at the time.
Give me 3 Bs, you'd say, when you rode the ferry to Shelbyville. But Dan Slott apparently is going to be hitching up his horse when Iron Man 2020 is done and riding off into the sunset to greener pastures. That's going to be his stopping point for the character, which I think we all basically assumed was going to be the case anyway.
Yeah, the story he's writing kind of feels like the ending of his stuff, as well as like a reset for like a new writer to come in and just tell whatever they want.
Definitely. And again, too, it's funny to hear that now where it's like, what wasn't like Iron Man 2020, wasn't it like 3 issues in before all of this happened?
Yeah, 3 issues in, and like I think I was reading the Machine Man issue just the other day, and I think that's about the halfway point of it.
Yeah, a couple tie-ins there that they were doing. But that's cool. I mean, yeah, they definitely seem to be setting up a major status quo change for Iron Man. Who would you put on the Iron Man book next? Because I know my interest in Iron Man waxes and wanes. I didn't give a shit until Bendis started writing, and then he quickly made me stop caring. And then it's like, oh, well, Dan Slott, he should be fun. And, all these other Marvel number ones have been really solid recently.
Well, he's been writing the book with Jim Zub. He's been kind of like alternating, I think, between Jim Zub and Christos Gage.
Zub was there for a bit, like for the latter half of the book, and then, Christos Gage has been writing 2020 with him.
I don't know, maybe give it to Christos Gage. See what he can do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, man knows his continuity, and I really like his stuff. Though I don't think his books ever last long. He's known quite well within the comic community as, a really prized workhorse with really good attention to detail, but I don't know if he's like a celebrity writer like Dan Slott is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who I would want to pick up Iron Man. I don't even know what you would do with Iron Man. It feels like Iron Man is one of those characters who he keeps playing out the same handful of stories every couple times.
Yeah, and it feels like anything new you can do with him has already kind of been done.
Zeke says Gail Simone. Yeah, Gail Simone actually wrote the,
some of the issues, yeah.
Yeah, the War of Realms tie-ins, and they were very funny and actually kind of cool and interesting because Iron Man fought a fucking dragon. Yeah, let's just have a series where Iron Man has to, fight fantasy creatures and stuff he's not used to.
That'd be pretty cool.
I guess, too, they'll have to finally answer the question where it's like, is this the real Tony Stark, or does it even matter anymore?
I think that'll be what the book ends, what Iron Man 2020 ends on, and then that'll be like the fresh restart.
Right. You know, maybe Iron Man decides he wants to give all his money away and start over in Silicon Valley with a new idea, where it's like, I'm going to rebuild my empire from scratch, because, you know, that'll be interesting.
That'd be cool. I'm fairly certain that's been done before, but yeah.
I'm sure it has, too, yeah. Poor Tony Stark startup company.
Yeah, basically Peter Parker again.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we make him Peter Parker, where it's like, yeah, I gave all my money away to start over. Maybe he gets into politics, Tony Stark.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Looks easy enough. Yeah, I'm gonna start running for Congress. gonna use all my money to get in there, and why not?
Yeah, I can just hear Carol Danvers' head explode.
Yeah, didn't we fight a whole civil war over this? He'll start a bakery. Yeah, I like that. Iron bread. It's filled with protein.
I'd like to see him maybe. I'm hoping his mother stays around as a character, because she's really interesting.
She is a fun character. I like her too.
Maybe something involved with her. I'd like to see him maybe go back to being like a director of S.H.I.E.L.D., like he reboots S.H.I.E.L.D. or something.
Someone's got to do it. S.H.I.E.L.D. has been gone for a surprisingly long time now.
I'm surprised it's still dead.
Yeah. It's one of those things that they killed and actually kept killed, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Normally shit comes back right away. They didn't even reboot it when the show came back and the show was still going on, and normally they love to do that.
Yeah, I'm very surprised it's not back yet.
Yeah. Huh. And Coulson is back too and everything, and that's another story that we're still trying to figure out what his deal is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty then. What else? Yeah, I guess that's all the news for this week. Not a ton of news, but, you know, I think we wring some good juice from the topic. Let the juice of this show wash all over you. I know people in the chat said, hey, can you talk about that newest DC movie? I did a video on it. I don't know if you did, Matt, but what do we think about Justice League Dark Apocalypse War Side of Eternity Endgame? God, this is a fucking long title.
I didn't do a video on it because I didn't particularly think it was worth it, because I didn't fucking like this film.
They really did. Whether you love or hate the movie, you have to admit DC and Warner Brothers really inflated the importance of this one. It's like, oh, it's the grand culmination of this era in DC animation. Oh, 15 movies. I'm like, yeah, where you really only have to watch 3 because continuity was always an afterthought for you guys. But I'm glad you're patting yourselves on the back so prematurely and saying what a good job you did in building this interconnected universe that was never really an interconnected universe, unless you're Damien.
The strangest thing about this one is that the fans of these particular films, that they have these strange fans, were calling it better than Endgame and better than Infinity War. I'm like, bullshit. That's so bullshit.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, no, those movies actually built to something. This was an arbitrary end they pulled out of thin air, where they're like, well, we've exhausted all the New 52 stories, I guess. Hey, wasn't it cool when we did Flashpoint and kind of bookended one era and started another? Maybe we should do that again. Cool, what story are we going to base it on? Darkseid War, Future's End, World's End, Trinity War? You know, let's just do it all, because
so we don't have to do their own films and we'll save money.
Yeah, because again, that's served us so well in this line of DC movies. Like, hey, Batman versus Robin, let's make it Court of Owls, and let's also make it the Nobody Saga, and let's make it Volume 2 of Grant Morrison's run. Let's just put it all in there.
Let's just put it all, and then we'll call the movie Justice League Dark, but they won't be the main characters. We'll only have one Justice League Dark member actually show up through the whole film. That's one of the few choices I'll admit I actually liked, where it's like, you know what, yeah, sure, make it all about Constantine, make it about Matt Ryan
because the dude is basically like a Warner Brothers DC VIP at this point between City of Demons, which was excellent, by the way. I very much enjoyed that one, and it was CWC. It wasn't even connected to these. And because, you know, Legends of Tomorrow and everything else and shit. Can you believe they canceled his Constantine show, yet he's such a good fucking team player? He keeps coming back to these.
Yeah, I don't know why after all this time, like, he's shown he's very popular with Legends, he does these stuff. Why they don't just say, hey, we'll do season 2 of your show and we'll put it on the DC Universe app because that app's dying and we need content.
Yeah, it's not like you guys aren't starved for content. Shit, we'll do season 2 of your show and make it animated.
Yeah, we'll connect it up with Legends or something.
I would be totally okay with that. Again, I guess he must really like the role, and again, he must just be a cool-ass dude to work with because he keeps coming back for it, and good on him.
I just thought of this. I'm wondering if maybe they're waiting until Supernatural finishes this season, because that show is very similar to Constantine. So that show finishes, and they'll be like, hey, you like this show? Come and watch season 2 of Constantine. It's basically the same thing.
That would be really smart. Hey, is there a paranormal detective hole in your heart? Well, guess what? It's the John Constantine show. You're gonna love it. It's just like that because they were actually ripping him off for years. You just didn't know it. Man, that whole circle is so funny that Supernatural is on TV for like 15 friggin' years. Totally borrows from, you know, the Dresden Files and Constantine and all these other, you know, trench coat wearing, smoking paranormal investigators, and yet people don't know that. So when it actually does come time to make the Constantine show and the Dresden Files, they think it's a ripoff when it isn't. It's totally like John Carter of Mars.
Yeah.
But yeah, calling it Justice League Dark is so hilarious because it's like, but you had a Justice League Dark movie, and that one was more about Batman than it was about Justice League Dark.
What's even funnier is like this. It's called Justice League Dark, and the movie opens with them basically saying, "Yeah, Justice League Dark doesn't exist anymore. They've disbanded, and they have been shuttered into the actual Justice League."
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, well, just call it Justice League then.
I know. Why did you need the extra? I mean, it is dark. Don't get me wrong.
for no reason. It didn't have to be. Again, this is that R rating just for the fact that they can have it and call was an R-rated cartoon.
Yeah, content has always been an issue in this era of DC animated movies, where before it's like, nope, these are for the whole family. They're for everyone. You can push it a little bit more than you can on TV. But again, you got to keep it to at least, you know, like a PG-13. Once they lifted that restriction, I really do think some of the worst, like, instincts and bad habits of these, you know, films and filmmakers kind of came out. It reminded me very much of that, like, second Muppets movie when, like, the evil Kermit was telling everyone, yeah, do whatever you want. It's fine. I don't care.
It's really funny because like you see those PG-13 ones and they have things, again, it's for the whole family because they've got things for the kids, but then they've got like jokes and stuff that only an adult would understand, or like a sight gag an adult would understand, and that's fine. Why couldn't they just keep doing that?
This is why I think you and I both gave Red Sun so much credit, because one, it was a straight-up adaptation that actually did try and adapt the story. Yeah, it made changes, but is par for the course. But also, hey, it was actually mature in its depiction of violence and everything. And when, you know, they smoked, it was for period accuracy, not to like, ooh, aren't you shocked? Aren't you shocked, Normie? Look at me smoking. Like, it was actually a serious thing. And also, that movie, and again, I give it all the credit in the world for this, and the director even said, thank you, I'm glad you appreciated that to me on Twitter, when I'm like, yo, Superman Red Sun is good because they're not afraid to shut the fuck up every so often.
Yeah. Whereas, this movie is the complete opposite of it. It's like, look, here's Shazam getting his leg ripped off violently, and Mira getting her face peeled off, and it's like, for no reason.
That Shazam thing was so funny to me. Clearly that was something they cut for time, because they make a big deal of like, oh, and Shazam escaped, and then he doesn't do anything in the rest of the movie.
Until right at the end and then dies.
In fact, he never meets the rest of the cast. I'm like, oh, that was clearly something cut for time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They give him this new redesign and everything. The one that really made me laugh, though, was Batgirl. It's like, yeah, remember at the end of, I think it was Batman Bad Blood. Oh, look, it's Batgirl. She's here now. She shows up in Hush for 2 seconds to speak and to take Huntress's role, and then she shows up here to say nothing and die. And I'm like, oh, such good continuity.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
and then they've got like they obviously just recently did the Death and Return of Superman stuff, introduced like Steel, Superboy, and everything in those films. Have him in here just to again violently die.
Which again, too, I'm like, why was Superboy not on the front lines if he was alive? He's a junior
Yeah.
Superman. Seems like he'd be really useful.
Yeah.
The fuck? Why didn't they have a thing where it's like, oh, he gave a blood transfusion to Superman to, try and cure the liquid kryptonite in him or something?
That would be too easy, Joel.
No. Another thing that bugged me about that, and I enjoyed the movie more than you. I don't want to make it seem like I totally hated every second of it. Like, yes,
I liked parts of it, but it's
Yeah.
just so much of it is just like there just for the sake of it.
I mean, my problems with it are not unique to Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. My problems with it are the same problems that have been in every one of these movies in this post-Flashpoint era, which is saying something that those problems never got better and they all had the same ones. Lack of focus, clearly, struggling with budget in places.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's clearly an issue. Man, I hope for that next run of movies they at least get a little bit more money, or at least,
The art style looks different and looks actually better.
Yes, I agree. I know some people are like, hey, this doesn't look like what I want it to look. I'm like, hey, it's called an art style. That's what they need. These movies needed. Making them all homogenized was another one of the problems.
Yeah.
But, so, there's definitely cool shit in it. The Suicide Squad has a fun little moment there, even though they're not really the Suicide Squad from Hell to Pay, which is weird. And they got Hayden Welch to play Harley Quinn, even though she was Harley Quinn in Assault on Arkham, which was supposed to be in the video game continuity, and Batman Harley Quinn, which was supposed to be in the animated series continuity. But don't pay attention to that because continuity is an afterthought in these movies.
The voice acting on Harley and this really annoyed me just because it sounded like someone doing an impression of Tara Strong doing her Harley Quinn voice, and it had that like that whine that Harley has, but it was like turned up to 11. I'm like, oh, I hate this so much.
You know what my problem is? I actually quite liked Welch in Assault on Arkham, but man, after listening to Kukuo in, the Harley Quinn show, she's kind of taken over as my default Harley voice now.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
She is. Like, it's weird to hear someone else sound like, hey, you're not the Harley from the show. But, some weird creative choice. Luther is weird, too, because it's like, hey, remember I joined the Justice League? Oh, yeah, I guess you did join the Justice League. Don't worry, it won't matter in this.
Yeah, and he's voiced by Rainn Wilson, which is just the oddest choice for Lex Luthor. Why would you choose Dwight Schrute to voice Lex Luthor?
Very, very strange choice in that one. There were some good jokes in here. Again, Marguerite Scott, who wrote the Batgirl comic for a little bit and has a long history in superhero animation and other stuff. She was one of the co-writers on this. She took a lot of credit on Twitter for infusing it with some comedy. And trust me, this movie needed some levity because of the apocalyptic tone. I liked a bit she has where Boomerang and Constantine don't like each other because one's British and one's Australian, and I'm like, yeah, how have these guys never had a scene together before?
That is very funny. The guy who voices Boomerang, Liam McIntyre, I think his name is. He was in those Spartacus TV shows. I don't know what it is when Australians get cast in American productions, but they're told to turn up the accent. I'm like, we don't sound like that.
Again, you're hearing Matt talk right now. He doesn't sound like a fucking stereotype now, does he?
We don't sound like that at all.
It's like, we need that 10 times more Australian, but this is how I talk, but make it more, though. Turn it all the goddamn way up. Also, the bit, too, that took the internet by the storm, because, the internet is filled with horny monster fuckers, apparently. Everyone loves that Constantine totally had a small tryst with King Shark at one point.
I think that was pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
That was. I like that a lot. I like it even better in universe, where it's like, well, yeah, Constantine's love interests are always dying or getting sent to hell or bad stuff is happening to them. Only King Shark is strong enough to get away from that, because he is a shark.
Yeah, King Shark in this was actually pretty funny.
He definitely was. And again, totally true to Gail Simone's interpretation of him in Secret Six. That's absolutely what he was. Just saying his name, saying that he is a shark over and over again.
Yep.
Weird choice, too, to basically have Batman be a villain for a good chunk of this movie.
that was one of the things I didn't mind. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I see that they're like rushing this whole like, oh, he sat on the Mobius chair once in the comics, so that's going to be his whole thing this issue. But I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. I actually really like that, and he had a cool costume.
Right, he definitely did. It also kind of gets him off the table and explains why he doesn't come and help everyone. Although I will tell you, I'm like, oh, Batman, he's so smart because he's on the Mobius chair. He has all the secrets of the universe. He's playing coy and just making Darkseid think he's working for him. Oh, no, wait, he actually was under control the whole time. Oh, I wrote a more interesting version of this in my head, I guess.
Yeah, you wrote the Bat God, where he's 2 steps ahead of everyone, or in this case, 20.
Yeah, and then he just sends the chair away for his fight scene and you never see it again. Well, thank you for the fan service, I guess.
Well, they'd have to animate the chair, and they can't do that.
I will say there was some pretty good fan service fights in this movie. Etrigan versus Future's End Mecha Wonder Woman, that was pretty cool.
The Future's End stuff, when I saw that, I was like watching them like, okay, they've got the Trinity War stuff happening, the Darkseid War stuff happening, and then we see like the goddamn Martian Manhunter robot and all that. I'm like, oh goddamn, of course.
And they trick you good, because Darkseid's like, ooh, I'll send my Furies will deal with them. Like, oh, these are the new Furies. Hey, what happened to the old Furies?
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, what happened to Lashar and Stompa and all the other ones? Also, another annoying thing about this, too, where it's like, yes, all the heroes, the world has gone to hell because of the Paradoomsdays. And I'm like, what? What about all our other supporting characters? Like, these heroes have families and shit. Like, what happened to them? We don't have time to tell you what happened to them.
Yeah, don't have time. Oh, yeah, let's talk about the Paradooms. The stupid fucking name.
Very much so.
I said on Twitter, instead of calling them Paradooms, just call them, like, Doom Demons or something.
That would have been better. That would have been much better.
And then that also reminded me of why I hated those fucking Death and Return of Superman films, which is, Darkseid was behind Doomsday all along, and it was all a play to like invade Earth again. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, again, that's the problem with this movie. These movies in general is that when they do have continuity bits, you're like, that makes it dumber.
Yeah, that's so stupid. Why didn't he just send all these onto Earth? Why did he only send one Doomsday?
Like, again, actually, in Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, which I also did not enjoy, when literally Reverse Flash shows up at the end, it's like, hey, I'm the secret villain and Flashpoint happened, and let me tell you all about it. And I'm like, thanks for reminding me of a better movie, Reverse Flash.
Yeah, and then that never came up again.
Yeah, well, it kind of did, because they literally Flashpoint their way out of trouble in this one, and I'm like, really, guys?
And they do it in a way where they don't even bother showing you what came after that. Like, usually
they don't know.
It's like the end game thing where like the snap happens and you see like what happened after that, where here you just see Barry running off into a fade out to the credits.
It was a heck of a choice to have the end of the movie have your entire cast be beaten down, tortured, mutilated at their absolute worst, and then being like, well, guess we gotta hit the cosmic reset button. You good to go, Barry? You're good to wipe all of this out of existence so we can start over? And I'm like, really? That was it? That's what you were all fighting for, just to hit the cosmic reset button?
It really rubbed me the wrong way that Barry was just like, okay, I guess I better do it, instead of going like, no, I did this once before and it fucked everything up. I'm not doing it again. It
led us to this, yeah.
I'm not your reset button. I'm a human being.
Yeah, but he's totally cool. And again, too, like, they try and end it on a note that they think is sweet, where it's like, oh, but they all held each other as the world end. Isn't that beautiful? No, it's fucking depressing. No,
everyone
and sad.
Died.
It's a downer, and not like a downer in like Thanos, is the one, who's standing tall at the end of Infinity War or wherever. It's like, well, yeah, because we knew the sequel was coming. That was just an interesting take to end your movie where the bad guy won. Bad guy didn't even win here. The heroes were just fucked at the end of it all. Just odd
but Damien
choice.
Got to kiss Raven, that's what all this universe was building towards.
Which, I mean, hey, that's all right. I mean, if it was me and that was it before, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck it, got mine. that should have been Damien at the end of the movie. It's like everyone is dying about. It's like, nah, but it's cool though. I got a hot goth girlfriend now. It's all good. He'd be the one trying to stop it. No, don't stop it, Barry. Don't you dare reset this universe. I'm finally happy, you dick. Can't get no better than this. Also, my dad's dead, so like no one's gonna compare me to him anymore. So it's all good. But yeah, so I mean, ultimately it was fine as a standalone movie, as part of like some big continuity capstone. Very inflated, very, very inflated. You basically only need to see 2 movies to see this. Watch Batman and Son, where they introduce Damian, and watch that Teen Titans movie, which I actually quite like the Teen Titans movie that they did.
Which one was that?
Teen Titans versus Justice League.
Oh yeah, that one was actually pretty good.
That one was pretty good. That one was better than this, I would say, of this whole era. Actually, let's look at that right now. Let's actually go to this era in DC animated movies, and let's talk about what our favorites actually were.
I think there'll probably be only like one, which is like Justice League versus Fatal 5.
Which was excellent. Yep, okay, that's the best one. We both agree that's the best one.
Because it went back to the Tim universe. It went back to that.
Yeah, it was a Bruce Timm original with a really good story about mental illness and overcoming stuff like that. Used new original villains that people hadn't seen before. It looked cool. It was genuinely really good. So, okay, in this universe,
so we got Justice League Wars when it started.
Which, again, you're adapting a story that wasn't that good to begin with.
And was only, like, I think at the time, like 2 years old or something. Not very old.
It was very, very new. Son of Batman, which was all right, I guess.
I can't even remember half of these.
That's the problem. A lot of these ones run together. Yeah. Oh, Throne of Atlantis hurt me because that was an excellent New 52 story. Maybe one of the best ones they had at that point, and they butcher it.
Yep.
They butcher it for no reason. Batman versus Robin, that's the one I mentioned before, where it's like, hey, let's mash up Court of Owls and the Nobody Saga. This is where I really start to be like, okay, I think these are bad now. Justice League Bad Blood, Batman Bad Blood. We had 2 Batman ones back to back. This one was alright. Again, they tried to do way too much as like a Batwoman origin story. That segment is good, but also Luke Fox is in it, and they don't have enough time for both.
Yeah, you kind of forget he's in the film.
Absolutely. Justice League versus Teen Titans, I actually quite enjoyed because this movie genuinely had some fun and actually wrung good material about sending sour, dour Damian to hang out with kids his own age.
Yep.
Trigun was good in it. Hell, this one actually used continuity in a good way, too, because at the end of that movie, Damian and them are, like, in hell, and he meets, like, the ghost of his grandfather, Ra's al Ghul, who had died. Oh, yeah, that's right, Deathstroke killed him in fucking, because Deathstroke was in the
one of the other fucking Batman films.
Yeah, but that was cool because he actually has to fight like his grandfather, and it ties into this like bigger theme of like overcoming crappy upbringings and crappy father figures. And I'm like, oh, that's good.
Yeah, just looking at it, like the writer Alan Burnett, like of course it was good. He's the guy who's co-writing the animated series comic at the moment,
and which so many other things.
Which is excellent.
Yeah, He's had a long-ass career, Alan Burnett. Justice League Dark, I don't even remember this one. I just know Batman was in it, and he kept stealing focus.
Yeah, he was, like, the main character. And I'm like, why would he want to set up Justice League Dark? That's not how it happens.
Yeah. Teen Titans Judas Contract, which I did not enjoy. I felt this one was trying way too hard.
Mm-hmm.
They also kept stuff from the original that they should really have changed, like Beast Boy being really pushy and a little rapey.
Yeah.
Hey, nah, it's totally okay, kids. You know, this girl says no, but you just keep pushing. That's what you gotta do. When you're an animal, man, you just gotta keep pushing. Yeah, okay, that was one thing when that was written. Why are you doing it here now? Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay. Yet another one where I thought they were just trying way too hard in terms of violence and content and everything else.
Yeah. Assault
on Arkham is way better in every conceivable way. I guess it was cool that Bronze Tiger got to be in it.
Yeah, I guess that's a plus for it.
Yeah, they do some weird... Okay, no, wait, now I remember why Hell to Pay actually pisses me off, because it's actually a Secret Six story they adapted involving the Get Out of Hell free card, which is an excellent Secret Six story that they ruin here. I see... My mind edited that out. I forgot I actually hated this one because of that reason.
Your mind just completely wiped it.
Yeah. Death of Superman, which I kind of remember writing this one. You thought this one was okay.
I didn't particularly like it, no.
No, well, didn't Tomasi write this one, and didn't we think that was cool?
I thought that was cool that he wrote it, but I was like, why was it changed so much?
Yeah,
It's like it's not even Death of Superman story.
Yeah, I didn't even watch Reign of the Superman.
Again, it's much the same stuff.
That's a shame.
And then added the added caveat that it was all like Darkseid's plan.
There you go. Batman Hush, which I actually thought was pretty cool until they changed the ending.
Yeah, I get why. Why did they have to change the ending?
Change for change's sake. Like, yeah, obviously the mystery is pretty obvious when you like pare it down to like an hour 30 or whatever, but still, you could have kept the ending and it would have been fine. This one actually had way more of an interest in telling like Batman Catwoman love story, which at the time was way better than what we were reading in Tom King's Batman, so that was fine. Wonder Woman Bloodlines, didn't watch that one either.
Yeah, I didn't even see that one.
Nope, didn't see that one. Hey, you know what was good, though? They brought back those DC showcases, and those were all really good.
Yes, they were. I've watched all of them. I haven't seen the Adam Strange one that I think got released with Apocalypse War, but yeah, they've been really fantastic.
Indeed, they had. They had the one with Neil Gaiman's death, which was super cool, because I never thought they would actually make that. Mm-hmm. Sergeant Rock and the Creature Commandos was baller as fuck.
That was really cool.
I would totally watch that show if they turned that into a thing. And then we had Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, which was this new one, and it was fine, I guess. There was some fun stuff in it, but again, just a lot of trying too hard. Like, what audience is this even for anymore?
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully they kind of scale that back with the release of, like... Because we don't know whether, like... Obviously, the ending of the movie implies that there's going to be, like, the DC Rebirth sort of, like, era. But that's technically not the case, since we've seen seen some pictures from the Superman one, The Man of Tomorrow, and it seems to be borrowing from like American Alien and a bunch of other like Superman origin books, which is cool, which is fine, but like, are they going to be all connected? Is it just going to be like each movie is its own universe?
I hope they go back to that every movie is its own universe with its own voice cast, its own unique direction, its own unique art. That's the thing. Like, this one actually has like an actual art style to it, and it actually looks really cool. And the pictures I saw reminded me very much of like the old like Fleischer cartoons and like Ruby Spears cartoons. Yes, which is totally cool, and I totally appreciate it because of that. Because, hey, if you didn't have those Ruby Spears Supermans, you wouldn't have, Batman the Animated Series, because that's what inspired them. Yeah. But yeah, I'm very happy it has a style. And also, hey, I loved American Alien, even though we don't love the writer anymore.
That's what I'm really worried about, like, this animated movie, like, using that as like, oh, is he gonna fucking rear his head again?
Yeah, really. Listen to me. I've rebranded myself as a YouTuber. YouTube forgives everything.
I'm looking forward to the cast of that film as well. They got Zachary Quinto playing Lex Luthor.
Ooh, that's fun. Wasn't he attached to a Superman project once upon a time?
I want to say yes.
Yeah, didn't...
And the guy they got playing Superman could actually play Superman in live action.
Which guy was that?
His name is Darren Criss. He was in that second season of American Crime Story. What else has he been in? I know he's been in a bunch of other like TV stuff.
Well, let me Google him right now. Darren Criss, actor. You always got to put that. Oh, yeah, I see it. He's got the hair for it, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yep, yeah, I absolutely 100% see it, and he's doing the voice. Right on.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the other cast is, but it's good Superman and Lex Luthor.
Yeah, so which, I mean, really, you're halfway there at that point.
Yeah.
I guess a good thing, too, and I know some people on Twitter were asking me this, now that we are entering a new era of DC animated movies, what would you like to see them adapt next as far as stories go?
Well, hopefully they don't go all over the place like they did with the old wing, where it's like every movie is like 5 different arcs put into one. Hopefully it's just one arc per movie. Yeah,
let's even take some arcs that are shorter to begin with, like, hey, Deceased was pretty fucking good, wasn't it? And it's going to have probably quite a few sequels. Wouldn't that be a good one to adapt?
That would be.
You could even be grimdark about it, and it makes sense because it's a zombie movie.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, and that would definitely warrant the R rating. They could go ham on the R rating on that.
Absolutely. White Knight, another one. It's not that long, so I think you could actually probably get that into like a suitable movie length, and it's an Elseworld, so you're free to play around with it and do whatever you want with it.
And it's Batman and Harley Quinn as a main character. It's everything this universe loves.
Yeah, you gonna tell me that ain't gonna make some money?
Yeah.
Someone on Twitter said, it was Emmanuel, actually, longtime fan of the show, who said, wouldn't it be cool if they did Tomasi's Multiversity arc, where it was like all the different Superman, basically, friggin' what is it, into the Superman verse, more or less.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Again, very short, very to the point, so you could really do it and have a lot of fun with all the different Supermen.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to see also like a Green Arrow story.
Again, do Kill Machine. Do Jeff Lemire's Kill Machine. I think you could get that to a pretty solid runtime if you wanted. And, I mean, cast a Melanin if you want. That's fine.
Yeah, you could even maybe do, like, the first arc of, like, the Rebirth story arc where he's, like, fighting, like, that evil, like, syndicate.
Yeah, the Ninth Circle. Wow,
yeah.
It's funny. The Ninth Circle and the Outsiders, very similar evil cults, and the twist at the end of it is that one of his parents is alive and leading them.
Yeah.
Actually, if it was me, I would do the arc where Roy Harper comes back and they're fighting like evil logging tycoons on a native reserve and everything.
That was a good arc.
That was a really good one. And you could put Merlin in there if you wanted. You could put characters in there that don't quite always exist. If they did Kill Machine 2, that would be a good chance to introduce Imiko in animation, which would be fun.
Yep.
You know, I'm all about trying to show people characters they haven't seen before. I know Bruce Timm, when he was still working there, said they would never do Kingdom Come, even as a two-parter, but Bruce Timm doesn't really work there anymore, so... And I feel like that and, like, all the other big marquee stories like Darkest Nights and Sinestro Corps War would make, like, money hand over fist, even if they were bad, so...
If they do Kingdom Come, they need to get Brandon Routh to voice Superman.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Because he's played him live action. He's played the Kingdom Come live action Superman.
Yeah. I feel like there's some really good Wonder Woman stories that I'm missing that would probably be really good in this one. There's the one where she like fights the dragon because, you know, the dragon says that like, all the Justice League will die. That was a pretty good one. You
could do there was that recent Brave and the Bold series with her and Batman teaming up to fight like weird fucking eldritch monsters.
That was pretty good. What was also the Trinity book they did where it was like, it wasn't the Black Mercy, it was the White Mercy.
Yep.
That was a good one, and Mongol was at the end of that. Yeah, I'd really like that one.
Yeah, there was also that... I never read it, but I heard it was really good, and it was a... I think it was a Black Label book that recently released. It was like Wonder Woman Scorched Earth or something. It was like her in like a post-apocalyptic...
Oh, wow.
It was kind of like Last Night on Earth, but like for Wonder Woman.
Shit, you could probably do Last Night on Earth, actually. Really, all of the DC Black Label books that have come out so far, Nightwing, New World Order, those are all pretty, what is it, like animated movie ready, I would say.
Yeah, Batman Damned. You got to keep the Batwang in, though.
There you go. It's the only way. You know, it's like, as much as I didn't like that book, you could make it weird and trippy and like experimental with the animation. And yeah, you could probably actually make a good one about that.
Yeah.
Like straight up say like, no, this is an art piece that we're making. It's not. It doesn't have to make sense because it's art. Oh god, there's so many Wonder Woman stories I'm forgetting. Who never gets a story but should get a story? Who should get an animated movie? Green Arrow is definitely on the top of my list.
Maybe Booster Gold.
Booster Gold, that would probably go to... League of One was the one I was thinking of with the dragon.
Yeah.
And Hecatea was the other good Wonder Woman one where it's her and Batman fighting each other. That was like when she briefly worked, as like the ambassador for the Themyscira. Yeah. And like Batman really wants to catch this woman and Wonder Woman is sworn to protect her. That's a good one. That was kind of heavy too, but like I think you would actually make a really good story out of that one. Mm-hmm. So yeah. That's some ideas we had. Again, too, in the comments section down below, tell us what good animated feature would you like to see? Oh, Super Sons. Have we not said Super Sons?
Yeah, well, it's kind of obvious.
It's so obvious. How have they not done it? Because again, you can start that movie at any point, and it makes perfect sense. Because it's like, yeah, it's the son of Batman and the son of Superman hanging out and going on adventures.
Yeah, but only if they're aged up.
Only if they're aged. It's the only way. Can't do it no other way, unfortunately. Someone saying have the balls to do Doomsday Clock. Man, I don't think they're going to be touching that one.
No, they're not going to do that.
They ain't touching that one. I mean, hey, even DC isn't really touching Doomsday Clock now after it's done. Man, it really does seem like they're scared of that story. Where it's like, hey, are you going to reference this in anything else? Nope. Oh, the chat mentioning, are we ready for Stargirl? Is that this week?
Next week, I think.
Okay, I should make a video about that. I am excited about that because it was supposed to be on HBO Max, and now it's going to be on CW, so I feel like they put more money into it.
Yeah, it looks fucking cool.
It does. We saw the villain. Solomon Grundy looks excellent.
Yeah, so much better. I compared him to the other Solomon Grundys we've had, and he looks so fucking cool.
How are they going to square the circle, too, that you have Icicle there, assumedly Icicle Sr., and didn't Killer Frost Dad also become Icicle?
Yeah, or just a different universe, remember? This is Earth 2.
Oh, right, of course. You know, all the universes came together, except for this one. Except for this one, so it's slightly different. But yeah, Grundy looks great. I love that they brought back, like, weird characters from the Golden Age to be the villains that no one has thought about.
Yeah, Sportsmaster is the villain.
Oh, I love that there's Sportsmaster. And isn't it like the Magician is one, too?
Yeah.
What does the Magician do? He's a magician. Man, you can tell people in the Golden Age, some writers just weren't trying. Okay, he's a super criminal, and he's magic, and he dresses like a magician, so he's called the Magician.
Genius.
Damn it, you done it again. I would say cash the check, but historically, comic writers never made that much money. Cash this $5 that I'm throwing your way. Yeah, JT Wizzy, I agree. Do something with Hawkman. Hawkman never gets a movie. There's at least one really good Hawkman story you can adapt. It's the one where they basically say, fuck it, all your lives happened.
Yeah, I actually just caught up on all of Robert Vendetti's Hawkman, and yeah, that story where he literally learns that he's was his worst own enemy, and all his past lives are actually real, and he can tap into any of them at any time is really cool. You just do that.
That's a cool idea, and also very Immortal Hulk too, where Hulk can tap into other Hulks.
Yeah.
I saw the cover for that one, and he's like Plague Doctor, friggin' Hawkman. I'm like, that's a cool ass look. I like it a lot.
Yeah, he finds one of his lives is like some like 16th century doctor or something.
Love it to death. I want all Plague Doctor Hawkman from now on. Forget all the other nth metal barbarian shit. He should just show up to every meeting looking like that. It fits too perfectly too, because Plague Doctors have bird masks, and he's a bird man.
How has no one done that before?
That's so fucking great. I love it to death. So I think we've talked enough, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday. Now we know we started a little early, which is different than us, but I think we had a good show. I thought we had some laughs. We had some good conversation.
We certainly did.
Some people are going to be very mad at our views on those DC animated movies, I tell you.
I've already seen those people.
That's okay, because I already got the views on my main video version of it. Not near as many people listen to this podcast, so it's fine. If you've listened this far into the podcast, you're a real one, and we know it. You're an OG, and no one can take that away from you. So again, thank you so much for listening. As always, if you are a fan of the show, you can listen to it first over on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Both the video and audio versions are put up there, and because this one is a little shorter, we can put it up a little bit quicker, which is always nice. Any other things coming out, Matt? Anything else you want to talk about?
Not really, no.
No, we've had no new sponsors in the last little bit to talk about, but again, if you're a fan of the show and you have a Kickstarter or a creative project or something you want to get the word about, hey, hit me up. I have the email on the channel there for any business inquiries, and if I vet it and it's okay, we'll totally talk it up. Your message will get out there on the internet $50 at a time. That's what I've decided. Let me be your town crier, everyone. Oh, hey, at the end of the month, what is it? AEW is having another pay-per-view. Have you been keeping up with AEW, Matt?
I missed last week's, I think.
Ooh, last week's episode was so fucking good, actually.
Yeah, I'm planning on watching like that week and this week's like back to back.
It's really good. I'm sure you've seen the GIF because I retweeted it of Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega chasing Sammy Guevara in a golf cart and running him over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is wrestling. This is what we all need. This will help us heal and bring us together as a nation.
This is going to destroy the coronavirus.
Running guys over with golf carts. Hard agree. They're having a pay-per-view at the end of the month, actually, Matt. We might have to, as a special Patreon bonus, go over the card at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think people really liked the last time we did that. So yeah,
they did. They quite enjoyed it. We'll have to go over that one for sure. So again, keep your eyes peeled, everyone, and we'll definitely talk about that one in the future. So thank you, everyone, for coming to the Comic Multiverse, and we will see you all again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.